What is going on with the Playboy? What's going on? I was talking to someone yesterday about how it must just kill all the good cops to see the bad cops treat people so horrifically bad. So as you guys know, I got to take a drive here for a second. So I thought I would just rap out loud with you guys for a minute. And if I see any coppers on the side of the road, of course, I will pull over immediately and ask them what they're doing. Because when you see a cop sitting on the side of the road, he's trying to get you. He's trying to arrest you. He's trying to charge you with a crime. He's trying to give you a ticket. When the coppers leave the trough, they have a goal. And that goal is to, at the minimum, take your money. But their real goal is take you back to their office. I heard that yesterday. Your office is a dungeon, bro. Like just think about that. Your office is a dungeon. So where are these good cops that people keep telling me about? These jackboot thug pigs have been bullying me and bullying us my whole life. My entire life. We've had to deal with pig shacks, pig DUI stands, pigs in schools, pigs asking you where you're going, pigs saying they're suspicious of you. My entire life, we've had this horrific system of oppression and tyranny where we just allow one guy to have absolute power over another guy. And then I read in the comments how I'm a great big bully. I'm a bully to coppers. I'm mean to the coppers. You should see how many coppers who come into the comments section and say, Chille, you are so inappropriate. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. They said that I was inappropriate. Oh, really? So you mean like arresting people for having not paid traffic tickets? Is that inappropriate? Have you not heard the way that police talk to citizens? Have you not heard the way they say, get out of the car, show me your motherfucking hands, get your other belly, lay on your neck? That's how cops talk to us. When they're murdering people, when cops are shooting people with hundreds of bullets, they're screaming. You can hear them when they chase that guy down in Ohio, Jalen Walker. When they chase down Jalen Walker, they're screaming, show me your effing. And people are upset that I won't give a cop dominion over where I stand on the street. That piece of maggot is on the side of the road. If that copper was actually needed in that scenario and I came up on it, the camera would go in my pocket and I'd be helping him. Do you understand? Just put it in perspective. If he is called a first responder and he's on the scene and I show up and there's a first responder there, if he's needed there, then I'm needed there and I'm willing to help him. But every time I roll up on a piggy, he's treating somebody bad. He's abusing somebody, stealing their money out of their wallet, or he's hiding on the side of the road. You guys saw that in Utah. It must be tough for all the good cops. When I roll up on the scene and I start filming and they show their piggy little noses. How come it is every single time I walk up on a scene, the cop needs to tell me where I can stand? Doesn't matter which kind of scene I walk up on. I walked up on a scene in Arizona when I very first started on YouTube ago. And I walked up on the scene where they were literally towing a car away. The occupants were already out. I was on this big patch of sidewalk. And the copper walks up to me and says, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you go stand over there? How many times do I go to a scene and the cop tells me, go stand over there? And most of the time I have to ignore him or tell him, absolutely not. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I have every right to be here. I shouldn't have to do that. In my lifetime, I've been bullied by coppers, pushed around by coppers, charged by coppers for no reason, arrested for riding a jet ski after dark. I rode a jet ski after dark. I was guilty of it. I did a little Brody in front of some girls. I was 23. I was on the lake in Lake Louisville, Texas. Beautiful day. All the way into the evening, I've been vibing with these folks on the boat and these chicks. Woo, it's fun. I take a spin on the jet ski right after 6 p.m., right after sun's just setting. Copper whips in, pulls me over, and boom, he's on me. So I admit it. I don't know the things I know now. I was still, you know, a little green behind the ears. And so I said to him, "You got me, Copper. I was showing off, bro. You know." I told him the truth. He's like, "Get your ID for me. Get your ID." I'm like, "All right." And they're on top of me, like they're on me. I'm in the water. They're like on me. And then they're like, "Can I get your license?" He took my license. He said, "Okay, Mr. DeCastro," and then takes put my license in the pocket like that. And then he says, "Okay, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest." I said, "Whoa, no, I'm not under arrest." I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not drunk. This isn't a DUI." No. It's illegal to ride a jet ski after dark. It's an arrestable offense. He would have impounded the jet ski, but it wasn't mine. They were going to impound it, but they arrested me that day. How do you think I was feeling when I was getting arrested when I was 23? How do you think I was feeling? How do you think I was feeling? For all of you haters, all you copsuckers and cops saying, "Chille's mean, he's out of order to the pigs." F you and the horse you rode in on. They arrested me for jet skiing and took me to a frickin' dungeon. I was there for 3 days. Eat my shorts, Copper. This piece of arrested me for jet skiing after dark. It was 6:01. You're mad I'm mean to the Copper? I haven't got out even 1/10 of my angst and rightfully indignant nature because of these pigs. You disgusting maggots made me. And you're watching my videos. More and more cops are just chiming in on my videos now. You made me, bro. You signed up for that dog crap organization. You signed up to be Hitler. You signed up to Hitler's SS. That's who you are, brother, and you don't think so. You'll go down in history as the of America. That's why they can't get any more good piggies. Everything that drives you, everything that makes you who you are, every single bit of motivation and fiber in your body that says go is caused from pain, where you lost, and it hurt so badly, right? For me, wrestling wasn't about winning. It was about not losing. And these guys have created a system where they've caused so much pain to people like me. If you are looking at YouTube and you are seeing what police in America are doing to people, and you're like, Chille's being mean, you might want to take a reality pill there, bud. You're lost. You are lost. This country is completely from top to bottom. And the number one problem is that infestive nature of pigs. They've come all over our country, everywhere you go. They go to our schools, they go to our sporting events. They front and center, they park their car right in the middle of the road. I'm firing pearls. I'm telling you guys hard truths that nobody else will say out loud. I think it has a lot to do with perspective, right? Because what we're starting to see collectively as a group of people, with all the videos that all the auditors, activists, Second Amendment activists, First Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 14th Amendment Act, everybody who goes out that stands up for your rights that are inherent by God and only recognized by government, we are seeing as a collective that these guys are bad. And if you have joined and you just signed up to be a little piggy, you know, there's guys who are 10, 20 years in and they're like, oh, I can't quit because I need my pension and it'll mess up their life. And it's like, it's hard to be understanding for that. But any piggy who hasn't been in there for less than 10 years, if you stay being a piggy, after you're seeing what your evil organization continues to do to free nonviolent people, then there's something wrong with you. You're mental. You enjoy hurting people, or you enjoy watching people be hurt, or you enjoy the process of watching someone go through their worst day ever. You know, the other day I aired the video of that Las Vegas piggy, really cute little piggy. She sat there and said, oh, I'm having so much fun. You're having so much fun? Last I checked, being torture cuffed and kidnapped, taken to a dungeon and strip searched, or even just shackled like a pig and taken and put in a claustrophobic bag, and all of it, worst day ever. And she said, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. She's gonna regret saying that. Anybody see that short when I was in Utah? I was in Utah and I was pulling out of a wrestling tournament with the kids. And when I came off the exit, there was a copper, a Utah State copper, and he was LiDARing people. And I stopped for a moment and I looked at him and I said, hey, I said, what are you doing? And he said, are you doing this to wrestling families? And he said, well, if they're speeding, I am. But what you don't know is that he had his radio on his car turned all the way up. He was standing outside of his car like you're playing a video game, and he was LiDARing people. And I let him know, you're a filthy pig. You are a thief and a criminal. Someone's going by here 10 or 15 miles an hour over. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Speed kills people. Yeah, more people will die. Yes. Yeah. And they'll die free. They won't die under the thumb of a pig with their LiDAR gun on the side of the road to get the exact same people who fund him. Oh, they're just doing their job. No, it's not their job to ticket you for doing a few miles an hour over. It's their job to protect the public and preserve your rights that are from God, only recognized by government. Government's not supposed to create law enforcers. They're supposed to pay rights protectors without a profit motivation. That's all gone. That's all gone. There's a profit motivation in every single bit of rights protecting now. It's not even called rights protecting or peace officing. It's called law enforcing. And that's where I'm at. Here's the funny one. There was that cop in LA who pissed me off. Because as you guys know, I don't get mad at the piggies until they start infringing on my rights. If any of the people who hate me, if I told them they couldn't speak in real life, they would tell me to shut my mouth and they would speak right over me. But the piggies in America are arresting people for that. For you having a voice at all. What's the first rule? Do no harm. Rule number 1, do no harm. Don't hurt anybody else. Don't hurt yourself, don't hurt anybody else. That's the first rule of being a good person. Don't hurt other people. Don't intentionally hurt somebody else. You feeling down, you feeling out, you feeling like you're having a tough time, don't hurt yourself. Hurting yourself is doing harm. First rule is do no harm. Don't hurt yourself and don't hurt other people. These cops don't understand the first rule. It's just atrocious. And we have to watch this now on camera. It's, for you Nazi pigs, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. There is a guy who wrote in my comment section, and he's a pig. He's a pig. He openly said he was a pig. He said he worked for the pig company. And so he said something in there that, he does it fair and he does it right. Something like that. I mean, that's the gist of it. You guys can find it. It's in the comments. So the guy writes this and he says, I'm a good copper. Pretty much is what he says. So then I reply to him, about 4 or 5 paragraphs, which, once I start typing and I get into a zone and I'm not live, I type even better when I'm not live. But, I just typed out that, I don't see how it's possible for you to be a good copper. I don't see how it's possible. You signed up to the evil organization of law enforcers. You signed up for the most evil thing you could do. I told that rookie little piggy that was so cute, that little blondie, I said to her, listen, you made the worst choice you could have made for your life. She was blown away by hearing it. You could see it on her face. I wasn't kidding. You sign up to the Death Star, you sign up to be a pig. I don't see how you could be considered good. You are actively working on what we have to tear down. You are actively working on what we have to destroy and rebuild. But somehow you're good. How are you good if you're investing yourself into the Death Star? I'm just wondering. So let's put it in perspective for the copper, because he's going to see this. So Mr. Copper, Mr. Crime Stopper, so you think you are. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I joined a vampire house and for 60 hours a week, I invested in blood-sucking vampires, because you're not a bad cop, but you're investing in the blood-sucking vampires that you work with. And so 60 hours a week, I invest in making sure the vampires have blood, making sure that they don't have any sunlight, making sure their coffin is made up. I invest 60 hours a week in supporting vampires. You're doing the same thing. Because if you're not a bad copper, then you're not one of the vampires, right? Of course you're not. But you certainly see them. And you recognize that it's impossible to stop them in the current system. But yet you say you're a good copper. How is that possible? you literally tend to the worst of humanity. You tend to them. You enable them. You lie in your reports for them. And I said to him in the 5-paragraph blurb, you know, the Mullen Commission, led by Milton Mullen, they said that all cops lie on reports. 100% of the cops lied on their reports. So Mr. Good Copper that was in my comment section, how many reports have you lied on? How many reports have you didn't lie on, you just didn't put in what you needed to put in there? Because that's the other thing they'll do, is they'll say, I didn't lie. You didn't lie. You just didn't put it in there. And they can only go by what's in the report. And so I don't see how it's possible. I don't see how it's possible. I don't see how you could be a good cop. If you do turn in the typical pig, which is most bad pigs, then they'll run you out. They'll threaten you. They'll threaten your family. They may actually hurt you, maybe even kill you. You know, that copper the other day too, when I was filming him, that motorcycle copper, I could feel he was a little uncomfortable, you know. He'd have no problem putting me in handcuffs. None. And I'm going to be uncomfortable the whole time. So if I made him a little uncomfortable by filming him and he was uncomfortable for 10 or 15 minutes, I'm okay with that. It's a war. We're in a war. I don't feel sorry for swine. I really don't.